You're welcome back to the conversation in News Central Television. In the first half of the show, we just concluded our conversation on the stabbing of the killer of anti-apartheid hero Chris Hani, Yanis Wallace. It's time for us to switch gears and move to situations in Nigeria, where a spokesperson for Nigeria's All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Festus Keyamo, has given conditions for which his party would accept to debate with the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. Listing the conditions in a statement on Tuesday, Keyamo said Obi should first release his manifesto before any debate with him could be considered by the APC. He also challenged Obi to list his tangible achievements during his two-term tenure as Governor of Anambra State for comparison with the achievement of the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, when the latter was Governor of Lagos State.
Now, Keyamo, who doubles as the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, also asked Obi to provide a list of his political mentees from his days as governor and those who were still with him. The spokesperson for the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council noted that when these conditions have been met, the APC would send one of its spokespersons to debate with Obi. In a related development, the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council on Tuesday also unveiled a mobile crowdfunding channel for Bola Tinubu Kashim Shettima presidential project ahead of the 2023 general elections. The presidential campaign team targets to raise 5 billion naira from the platform known as Bless Me, launched in Lagos, Nigeria. And now, join us for this conversation, we have Dr. Dayo Kayode, Public Affairs Analyst, and we have Barrister Ayodele Osho, is a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation, gentlemen.
Yes, good evening, Rita. How are you?
Fine, thank you so much. So, Dr. Dayo, I mean, you saw the statement from the presidential spokesman of the All Progressives Congress, and in his words, he said they have no manifesto. So what are we debating? What documents are we comparing? Now, to start with, how important is a manifesto for presidential debates? And have you been swayed by this argument?
Yes. No doubt about it that manifestos are very important in political process. I tend to do for them. People want to know why, because it also defines the philosophy and the belief system of that particular political party. But when it comes to debate, any party doesn't have the temerity to be asking for somebody else's manifesto. Because when we're talking about manifesto, it has to do with what you need to do for the people. You don't necessarily need to write it down. It can be deep inside your heart. It's just like somebody like you who has been a presenter, a journalist, done quite a lot in the past. Do you need to write it down before you explain it to anybody? You don't need to. And even look at all the conditions that Keyamo has been given. I got to know who your mentees are. I got to know what you have done in Anambra State. I got to know which party you have even formed before. I got to know even your mentees. Are those his requirements? Are the requisites for anybody to become the president of Nigeria? No. Yes, I'm not defending Obi for anything, but I'm talking about the requirements that Keyamo is coming up with. But anyway, I wouldn't blame him. He's trying to defend his principle ahead of the debate. Because which debates has Bola Tinubu attended in the past? He has never attended any debate other than bringing up his own people, addressing them, and then those people will now be asking him questions that had been given him before. Why is he running away from debate? Is it because of the incoherence he has been exhibiting in some of his outings? We want him to come for debate. Yes, that will show how articulate, how prepared he is. We don't want somebody who will come out and then be answering questions that have been predetermined. Let him come out. Forget about who Obi's mentees had been. Forget about whether I have contributed in coming up with parties before. How about APC? Did all of them not come together with their various parties to form APC? What have they shown the people? Have they has all their promises not been cancelled? Look at the situation in the country now. Look at the real income of the people, disposable income of the people. How much goods and services can 100 naira purchase? 5 years ago, how much can 500 naira purchase now? Look at all the policy somersaults. So it is beyond political party formation. It is beyond the number of mentees you've had in the past. It is beyond what you have done in a particular state before, because Nigeria is bigger than a state. It is beyond that. We want to know how coherent you are. We want to know how capacious you are. We want to know how ready you are to take Nigeria to the next level that we are aspiring to be.
Now, Dr. Kayode, oftentimes presidential debates and political debates are conducted to help the people make informed choices, and feel the pulse of the candidates, their focus on policy issues and their plans for governance, and also check their level of intellect, amongst other things. So how important are these debates, and do you think in the future INEC should compel candidates to attend? Because I also want to ask you why the focus on the Labour Party's candidate, Peter Obi, is definitely not the only one on the ballot. So why did Keyamo and the APC leadership choose to single him out and give this quite ridiculous conditions before a debate can be met?
You see, there's no doubt about it. Even I'm not part of the putting together of Obedient. I'm not a fan of Obedient. But that notwithstanding, I shouldn't shy away from the truth. Obi in recent times had made a big political statement in this nation. That look, I can bring people together to take government by themselves. Even though I see that happening in the future, but it is a stepping stone. Having said that, you're going to see that whenever Obi is talking, I'm not saying whether he's saying the right thing or the wrong thing. There is what we call coherence. He has also been exhibiting that energy. Energy is different from capacity. That energy, yes, that is required of anybody to lead this nation. Because we don't need a president that is going for 8 months health tourism again. That will be ruling Nigeria from the United Kingdom, outside of the country. We don't need that again. So to that extent, Obi has been exhibiting that energy that yes, he can. Unlike the candidates of APC who had forgotten even the name of his party, who wanted to talk about PVC, permanent voters card, and was talking about APC. Somebody who had been going on health tourism. Somebody who is having a lot of baggage on his neck. And they know quite all right that if he should go and take that kind of a debate, people are going to ask him questions. Who is going to answer for him?
Okay, now,
Dr.
Kayode, sorry to butt in here. Dr. Kayode, if you can hear me now, talking about coherency, now there's a popular debate that a candidate of great potentials may not be the best of debaters. Now, you talk about mistakes that the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress has made during all the rallies, but looking at that platform of the best debaters might not be the true candidate or the best candidate for the people.
The best candidate.
Yeah. So how do the people, or are debates a true test of candidacy for political candidates? I mean, how can people really test the candidates if debates cannot necessarily guarantee that this person who can speak well will actually perform well?
I will also tell you this, that examination might not be the best way of knowing a better student. All right? But you must exhibit some level of understanding of the subject matter. That is the essence of debate. Understanding of the essentials of the needs and aspirations of the people. It's not like somebody who is campaigning to become the president and then said he was going to Dubai or he was going to Egypt to go and learn. How long will it take you to learn? Who is ready for that? We have seen another candidate. That we are aware had been doing a lot of spade work on how to move Nigeria forward in the last 15 years. Who has been working in the last 15 years and updating his own data on how to move Nigeria forward is also among them. And we have seen it in various fora, talking, and showing capacity, displaying the energy, and then telling Nigerians, this and these are what I am going to do if elected. And not just what I'm going to do, also showing the action plans, the steps that will be taken. All right? These are issues that anybody will be ready to display in any debate.
Now, Dr. Kayode, let's talk about an issue that has been leveling modern day democracy. It's something that we've witnessed in about 2 election cycles now. We have a situation where politicians have taken advantage of the widespread poverty in the country, and they've weaponized poverty. Yeah. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakub, has said the level of vote buying in the country has assumed an alarming dimension. Has this trend come to stay, and what can the people really do? How can we make money a non-factor when it comes to elections? Because that's why some candidates will say, you know what, I don't need to debate. I have big pockets. So is it democracy for sale? How do we make money a non-factor when it comes to elections?
Yeah, you see, when it comes to electioneering process and procedures, there is no way you can run away from spending money. No doubt about it.
Yeah, we understand the campaigns, but financial inducement, giving people money to vote for you.
Yes. The most important thing is this. What program are you having to alleviate or ameliorate the poverty level of Nigerians? To what extent are you ready to uplift the standard of living of Nigerians sustainably? I will give you an example. I'm aware, you should be aware that a new governor had just been sworn in Osho State.
Yes.
And this is somebody that people always call a dancing governor that doesn't know anything. But I was surprised during his campaign. A lot of policy statements that he was issuing, that he wants to turn Osho State away from a civil service state to an agrarian state, not just agrarian state, an industrialized agrarian state, coupled with its all the value chain. And to that extent, he will be lifting the citizens of that state out of poverty that have been unleashed on them in the last 12 years to a meaningful and sustainable high standard of living.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That is somebody who knows his onions. And these are the things we are expecting from the candidates.
Now, quickly, because of time, Dr. Kayode, I just want you to mention something, and that crowdfund app unveiled by the APC to mobilize funds. I just want your take on this. The APC has created an app to mobilize funds for the candidates. What's your take on that? Can it actually curb vote buying and all of that?
You say, I will give you a proverb in Yoruba and I will interpret it for you. You know? In Ekiti, they will say, that is, who doesn't know how to put meat inside the mouth, and then you just be looking for it. I will have been somewhere at the corner of my mouth that you cannot see. They know that INEC had already talked about this money issue. Remember, Godwin Emefiele said he is trying to redesign the Naira because he knew some politicians had eaten a lot of money. And also, let us join that one. So the issue of Buhari, he was talking about bullion van in somebody's house. Are you with me?
Yes.
Tell me, who among Nigerians that have been fully pauperized will be donating money?
All right.
I found out who will donate that money. The people that have been donating the money will have been given to them to come and donate. To show to the people that is the people.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kayode. I wish we could go on. These are very important issues we should be looking at as we approach the 2023 general elections. So I do appreciate your time and insights on this subject. Thanks for joining us on the conversation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Unfortunately, this is where we'll draw the curtains of today's edition of The Conversation. Now, on the first half, we dealt with situations in South Africa, where the killer of anti-apartheid hero Janos Wallace has been stalled in correctional service in South Africa just days after he was granted a release on parole. And we just finished situations in Nigeria, where the candidate, or rather the camp of the All Progressives Congress in Nigeria, said that they would not have a debate until the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, releases his manifesto to the people. This is where we'll draw the curtains for today. Do join us again on Friday for another edition of The Conversation. I am Rita Omodia.
And I'm Gbenga Aborowa. Thanks for being a part of the program. Bye-bye.